Hey there YouTube, Mark here. Second video on making my Kettle grill chair. And today what I need to do is figure out how I'm going to line up a line to cut, because what I want to do is on this front edge of the grill, I'm going to cut a big section out of it. And I've been trying to figure out how am I going to sit there and get a nice even cut. I don't want it, like this, and dipping around. So I want it nice and straight, like someone would take a chop saw and just right through it. That's the kind of look I want to go for. But how do I achieve that? And I think I figured it out. So let's get into that. I've also noticed too, I've already taken the legs off and I cleaned them up, and the wheels and the rack on the bottom. I took all that off and cleaned them up, and I was looking at the legs going, man, I don't think those legs are going to be strong enough to hold a big guy like me up. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to replace those legs, and I've already figured out how I'm going to do it and everything. This will no longer have wheels. It's just going to be 3 straight legs, but they'll definitely support my weight, no problems whatsoever. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is get that line drawn so I know where to cut. Alright, so when I figured out what I want to do and how to get that nice straight line cut, is I need to actually lay the kettle down to where this top ring here is actually going to be it's going to be vertical, and I want it to be straight vertical, because if it's angled at all, then my cut's going to kind of be at an angle, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, lay it down like this, then I take just a nice big square. I can put that on my floor like that. I can see that I've got probably about 4 inches, so you can see how far away the two are from each other. So what I need to do is I need to bring the kettle up to where it looks like that. But again, I don't want the kettle to be off kilter. I don't want it to, right now it's laying on its wheels, which means that it should be perfectly lined up right now. So if I just hold it like this, it's going to move, as I'm drawing my line, and I don't want that. So I need to make sure that the wheels are still nice and level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take DVD case boxes. Big Bang Theory, love the show. Too bad it's ending though. That kind of makes me sad. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the DVD cases, put them under the wheels until the kettle comes up enough to where it's heading to where the square is on the floor and the kettle still hits it. And then I should have a nice level section in which to draw my line. And then that poses the other problem, is how do I draw a nice even straight line? Figured that one out too, and it still involves DVD cases. Okay, so let's get this leveled and ready. 2 there, 2 there. More than likely that's not going to be enough. Nowhere close. So let's add 3 more here. 3 more on this side. It's close. It's really close. And I think I need to put in another one more level of DVD cases. Alright, let's see how that goes. Maybe a little off, but I don't think I can get it any better than that. And the reason I say that it's off is because the bottom is now does not sit on the kettle properly. It's sticking out just like that much way at the bottom down here. So you can see that there's just a little bit of a gap there. So the line isn't going to be straight up and down like I was hoping. I could probably futz around, find something else that would give me that nice level ability, but I just don't know what. I don't have any like little thin wooden shims or anything like that that I can use. Actually, I got an idea. All right, I think I found something that worked. Basically what I had 6 DVD cases down there, and then I had 2 Blu-ray player cases, so that made 7 cases tall. That was just a little too tall. I went and got just a couple of our dinner plates, put them on under there, and that just happens to be just the right depth. I mean, it's off maybe, that far. I mean, you're talking 1/8 of an inch or less. I can live with that. That's pretty cool. All right, but now how do I draw the line that goes around the grill? Glad you asked. Okay, so the way I've got set up to draw my line to indicate where I want to cut the front of my grill off. Again, I'm using DVD cases. Hey, Night Court, awesome. Yeah, I'm a big Night Court fan. I always have been. Bought a couple of collections of DVDs now. I mean, I own the whole series, but I watch them so often that I keep ruining them. They get scratched up, they don't play anymore, and then I have to buy more. Okay, but here's the issue that I have. I'm doing it the way I'm going to do it. This is my issue right here. This long cut. It's for, these are for getting your ashes to come out of the kettle so they don't sit in there and rust your kettle away. Well, this is my problem. Just this one, I need to make sure that I don't cut across that. I want to leave enough space below there to account and give it some strength so that it doesn't crack or bend or warp or anything like that. Now, the amount of room to leave, I have no idea. I really don't. I'm just guessing, but I figure that is a good enough amount to leave. And then I'll just put my pen right up against the kettle, and then I'll just move the DVD cases along and just keep on making the line all the way around. All right. So yeah, that worked out pretty nice. I can see a line going all the way around. I think that's going to work out just fine. Now I just need to take this outside and cut that front end off. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible. This is like 3 degrees out here, and I have to work out in the garage because, again, I've got people sleeping inside. But I need to find the parts for my angle grinder and my cutting wheel, so I can get this thing cut off. Got tape marked off so I can see my line better. So yeah, let's start cutting away. Now, the top edge here is the line where I'm cutting. So I'm going to actually be cutting on the tape a little bit, and then I can grind down the edge if I need to. That kettle got really cold really quick, but the most important thing is I got it cut. Because I was in such a rush, it's not as clean of a cut as I would have liked. I kind of got off on my line way up here. It's hardly noticeable, but I'm going to take the grinding stone on my angle grinder, and I'm going to kind of clean up the edges. As you can see, there's a lot of bars and stuff there that I want to get cleaned off. So get all that cleaned up, get it to a nice smooth edge, so that way, you know, when you're sitting on it, it doesn't cut you or anything. However, I am starting to think that I might go out and get what is it? I think it's door trim for like automobiles, and it usually it's like chrome or black or something like that, and you can just kind of put it around, and I think that will give it a nice finished look as well. So I may end up just doing that just to kind of help give it a nice finished look. But for now, I also need to start working on getting all this ground down with that wire wheel. Again, I gotta do it outside. My hoodie jacket that I normally wear, it's in the wash right now. That's why I've been running outside doing this without my jacket. So yeah, I think my next step will just be to grind this smooth, and then I'm also going to show you what I'm going to do about the legs. That's going to be the end of the video then. I think I'm just going to show you that, finish up this, and be done. I can do the outside another day. I might just take some soap and water, just give it a good wash and just see what comes off. Might not have to do too much with the wire wheel at all. Alright, let's keep working. I stayed inside, got warmed up a little bit. I'm going to quickly take an angle grinder with the actual grinding stone on here, take out some of these burrs, even off the cut line a little bit, and then I think we'll be good to go. Okay, I've been working on the legs for the chair, and that's going to take a little bit of work. I got one done now. The original legs that come with the grill, they're just not heavy duty enough to withstand, especially a guy of my weight. There's just no way that I can use them. So I went out and I bought some galvanized steel pole. This is 3/4 of an inch. And then I just put a cap here to plug up the end. Hopefully it'll keep it from sinking into the ground. But what I had to do is I have to grind away a little bit because the pole was just a little bit too thick. And then as you see, I got a notch that I have to cut because right down in here is a little, I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's like a little wedge that will wedge those cheap aluminum pole legs into place. Those legs are just so tight in there that I don't need that little wedge to wedge it into place. So I actually just cut a notch in the pole, and yeah, it works just fine. It's a nice tight fit. Like I said, nice tight fit. Yeah, that's what I have to do. But I just got to do the other two legs. I've already masked off what the top of this, the black portion is there. I just measured it off, put masking tape around it just so I know where to go. I've started grinding on these just a little bit, you can tell, but I've got a lot to do yet. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I run outside, I do about 5 minutes worth of work and come right back in. It's cold out there again today. So hopefully I'll get these legs done today and I'll have an actual standing kettle seat. That's kind of cool. That's one way to do it. Alright, so it's another day, and I've been working on the chair. I don't remember where I left off with you guys yesterday, but I do have the legs mounted now. I had to grind down the top of the pole so that they would fit up into these little holders. I wanted to keep this rack, not that I needed the rack for anything, but I wanted to use it as stabilization. I didn't want the legs moving all over the place. So I drilled out holes for these right here. And I tell you, that was actually kind of a pain in the butt, trying to get the holes to line up with the bar that goes across. And then there's a third one on the back leg back there. Didn't have to drill through, but still had to try to get the hole in the right spot. But I got it together, and it's pretty solid. You know, it's not wobbling or nothing. I have sat in the chair a couple of times. It's not the most comfortable chair, but I think it'll work. And I'm a little afraid too, because with my fat ass sitting in it, I've actually kind of dented a little bit right in here. Just that back is kind of pushed up into it a little bit. So I'm hoping that this is going to be strong enough. I don't know. So I think what my next step is, I want to shorten these legs. They're 2 feet tall, and I think that's just too tall. I sat down in it, and even with my 6.5 foot tall frame, my legs don't hit the ground. So yeah, I mean, I'm standing on my tiptoes when I'm sitting in the chair. But I mean, short of that, I mean, the chair does feel comfortable. I am a little bit worried they got little weld rivets or something on the bottoms of these. There's little spot welds there, there, and there. And so that makes it feel a little flimsy when you're sitting in it. You know, it just kind of wobbles a little bit. So if I have my way, I'll go out and I'll buy a cheap little welder, and I'll see if I can weld all the way around these little brackets. I'll just weld all the way around them. Just make it nice and secure. But I need to take these legs off, take them down to the hardware store, get about 4 inches cut off, and get them re-threaded so I can put these caps back on. The caps are there just so that they don't sink into the ground. I don't know if it's a necessary thing or not, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So, that's been my day. And I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of work outside because we got another 8 inches of snow last night. So, yeah, outside looks like ridiculous right now. Here, I'll show you what it looks like now. So, quite literally, like a week ago, all this snow was not here. We've gotten 3 decent-sized snowstorms in the past week. It has dumped, I think it's been a total of 15 inches. It's been ridiculous. This last snowfall just dropped another 8 inches. So it's been hell just trying to keep up on all the shoveling. All right, let's go back inside. One more thing I wanted to talk about with the legs and drilling the holes for this little rack here. Remember, I went through and I was grinding down the top of the legs here, and they got this little notch right there, and I have to basically cut through the part of the leg just to get it up in there and get it secured. And it's great, if I do that, then it doesn't pivot or anything like that. But what I realized was that when I was drilling these holes, I should have put these on first. That way I could get the whole rack system lined up properly and then go through and cut the little notches in the legs up here. That would have been so much easier than trying to cut, put the notch in, get the legs on, and then drill the holes for these. Because, drills wander a little bit. It's hard to drill a pipe, because of the roundness of it. So, yeah, it was kind of a pain in the ass, but I did eventually get it. I drilled the holes. I had to use my Dremel and a grinder bit and just, grind down on the holes so they would line up properly and stuff. So it doesn't look beautiful, but it works, and that's what counts. So yeah, I'm going to pull this all apart now, take the legs back down to the hardware store, have them recut, and take off probably 4 to 6 inches at least. I've only seen one other chair like this, and that was by my favorite TV chef, Alton Brown. I saw it on one of his episodes, and that was back in 2012. I think it is looking pretty good, though. I hope it turns out. I'm happy with it. I really am. I think it'll work out great. All right, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. See you on the road.